Here we go. We're thrilled to introduce you to Kate Hall, a new to NINC speaker in 2025. Kate, thank you so much for joining us today. The NINC conference team is excited that you're going to be speaking at the beach this September. We're ready to share that excitement with everyone else. So get ready. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please, kind of about your business, your experience in publishing, and how it's going to help our conference attendees.
Well, for one, I'm super excited to hang out at the beach. Like, if it's after conference hours and you're like, I have TikTok questions, and you see me at the pool, like, come up to me and talk to me because I'm gonna be like at the pool or on the beach anytime I'm not in the conference. And I'll be with my family, but don't worry, they know that I talk about TikTok all the time. Um, so I talk a lot about TikTok, but other social media as well. And I'm clarifying that because if something happens with TikTok in the next 6 months or 3 months now, oh my gosh, we're so close. If anything happens with it, I still have a lot that I can help with because I do not just TikTok, but like social media and teaching you how to optimize social media for your author brand without like showing your face or singing and dancing or doing lip sync videos or whatever, or like catching up with all the memes. Um, so I started publishing in 2019. I published queer young adult, like paranormal romance, leaning more paranormal than romance. And then I got really, really into romance, published a few romance books that I marketed very badly, not just because I was like bad at sharing them, but I was like, oh, these are what people do on romance book covers. And I was writing like pretty spicy short romances, and my covers were like very, very sweet romance aimed, or very, very like wholesome, non-spicy romance aimed. And I went to a conference in Kansas City, Missouri in like August or September of 2019 and met a bunch of other authors and learned a whole lot. And I was like, you know what? I'm finally gonna pivot to like spicy reverse harem romance, which anybody who's watching who's like, what is that? It's where a girl has a bunch of boyfriends and they're all cool with it. Um, and I feel like there's always one who cooks and cleans, there's one who like meets her emotional needs, and then there's there's different ones for different like emotional needs that she has. Um, and of course they're all well endowed because why wouldn't they be? Um, so don't worry, I'm gonna try not to be as spicy throughout the conference and talks. But if you want to talk spicy romance with me, you also can do that. Um, because I'm currently working on a monster romance that I'm very excited about. But yeah, in 2020, my RH really took off and I was excited. I was like, yeah, I figured it out. I got my career going. And then a year later, I lost my house, had to move into a shed in my mom's yard. And one of my friends, by the end of that year, at this point it was 2022, my friend was like, hey, I know you're broke as heck. Would you be willing to run a TikTok account for me? I have all the content. I just need you to like post on it. I don't have the time. So I started doing that. And then she was like, I have someone else who wants you to post on TikTok. And it just kind of accelerated from there because I was like, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to learn everything there is to know about it. And I'm going to get really good at it and I'm going to be the best there is. And so I learned a lot about it and just kind of kept going. I took on clients and clients, almost tanked my business because I was like, yeah, I can take on another client. I can take on another client because I was used to being broke and was excited to make more money than I'd ever made in my life. And I almost ruined my entire business. So I stopped taking clients, started teaching authors one-on-one how to do TikTok. And then one of my clients was like, hey, why don't you make a course about this? So I did finally launch TikTok for authors, which is what most people know me for. And the first week that was out, I made 2 sales and was like, oh, I'm a failure. I worked very hard on this and nobody wants it. And then somebody who took it, because they were like, it was at the time it was priced at $99, and people were like, no, it's too cheap. There's no way that this could actually do anything. So one of the students who took it initially from those like first few sales, um, she had her first $1,000 day 3 days after she started implementing my course. Before that point, she was making about $15 to $20 a day on her books.
Mm.
Um, so then she started telling people about it, and here we are now. I accidentally, like a friend with a few years ago was like, "Hey, I know you need some money. Can you post on this TikTok account for me?" And now I'm one of the most respected TikTok for authors voices in the entire community. And I'm being invited to conferences and all sorts of stuff. It's wild. I love it. Um, so yeah, that's me. That's what I do. And I think I went a little too long-winded there, but now everyone knows everything about my entire life.
That's great. We love it because we want our people who are coming to the conference, people who are thinking about coming to the conference. Somebody's out there going, I need to know more about TikTok. I need to sign up for the conference. So, what specifically can attendees expect from your presentation, which is enigmatically titled "TikTok for Authors" with Kate Hall?
Yeah, it's a really, really complex name that makes it really tough to figure out what I'm all about. Um, so something I like to say is, and I say this all the time, I say this in every interview I give, in every single talk I give, I say, I don't know what you don't know. Because I can assume and I can do what a lot of people do. I can assume, well, yeah, if you're coming at this, then you've tried TikTok before and you have this process and that process isn't working. But really, I don't know if you've used TikTok before. I know there's people who see that people are succeeding on TikTok and they've never touched the app. I've had people who don't know how to download an app who take my course and they're like, "Oh my God, this course was for me," because like from the beginning, I'm like, if you don't know how to download it, here's how to download the app on your phone with like my screen recording. And then that person initially who shared and talked about the course and stuff, because I'm going to talk about a lot of the course stuff, not everything, but because the course is like 6 hours long and I have like an hour to talk. Um, but what she said was she was like, yeah, I realized that this course was a huge scam when I did the first video and it was here's how to download the app. Here's how to post a video. And then I realized it wasn't a scam when the second video was now here's exactly how the algorithm works and how you need to optimize your content for the algorithm because TikTok's algorithm works like this. And she was like, "Oh my God, like it's very much like I want to tell you everything because I don't know what you don't know." And then at the conference, I'm mainly going to be talking about the strategy that works just the most consistently for the most of my students, which is going to be what I call the slideshow method. And it's basically where you post like photo slideshows with a scene from your book. I'm going to teach you how to find the scenes that are going to sell your book and how to write those out for TikTok because everything I teach, and it's really important for me to tell you, and for me to talk about, is like, yes, you're going to learn how to do this on TikTok, but I don't want you to come away from this and say, cool, I can post a trend on TikTok that's working right now. I want you to be able to take away this marketing knowledge and be able to learn how to apply it on your own if TikTok dies or if everybody decides you know what, we're all on Threads now, because I know Threads is big right now. Or if then Threads dies and people are moving over to, WeChat or whatever people are marketing on, I want you to be able to market your books. So I like to say everything I teach is a marketing course disguised as a TikTok course because I want you to be able to market your books. I actually use the same strategies from like everything I'm going to be teaching everybody, like all of these slideshow methods and pulling hooks, pulling these scenes from your book. I use them for my Facebook ads to sell more books. I use them for my Amazon ads on like a very, very small format to sell more books. I use them on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I use them everywhere. This is not just like, here's how to post on TikTok. It's here's how to make content that converts to sales. And the strategy I'm going to teach, other than like pulling your hooks and formatting them, is going to be a strategy that has the highest return on investment as far as TikTok goes. And it's easy because I don't want you to waste time. I don't want to be spending 20 hours a week on my marketing or 40 hours a week on my marketing. I want to spend 40 hours a week on procrastinating writing my books, right?
Of course.
um or on crying in front of my book edits. Like that's what I want to spend my time on. Actually, more realistically, I want to spend my time horseback riding or spending time with my son, or now that summer's coming here in the Midwest, getting in the pool because I know we're going to be in Florida for NINC, but as somebody who has lived in Florida and who has lived in Missouri, it actually gets so significantly hotter here in the Midwest because we don't have the sea breeze and we have the same humidity as they have in Florida, but we don't have the sea breeze to like cancel it out. So we get like 110-degree days. So I want to be in the pool, not in my house with crappy air conditioning, working on my marketing strategy. I want to automate it. I want to get it all done so that I don't have to be sitting and like being upset and stressed out about whether or not I'm getting paid.
Right.
Um, because the big thing is I want people to make money. I want people to not worry about being broke. And I will say that like this does mostly work for romance authors, but I am in the session going to talk about how to alter this strategy for different genres because I've had a lot of clients in different genres and I've worked and pulled I've pulled marketing hooks, these like TikTok scripts. I have pulled them from well over 1,000 books at this point. Um, yeah, it's very stressful. But I have pulled these for well over 1,000 books at this point and really, really refined a strategy that works and that sells the hell out of books. And I want everybody to be able to sell a lot of books because I don't want anyone to be stressed and broke. I don't want anyone else to have to like beg their mom to put a shed in their yard, right? Um,
Well,
or
that's,
anyone,
our
yeah,
theme this year at NINC is thrive. And I think that what you're talking about is the opposite of so. Yes, you want people to thrive. You want authors to, and
exactly.
you're trying, and you're going to, give some ideas about how that can look. So that's awesome. And you did
Yeah.
say, you mentioned beaches and so forth. So, and I say this is your first NINC. What, from what you've heard about the conference, are you most looking forward to?
So I love something I love about going to conferences in general, especially as an author. I really love just like spending time and like vibing with other authors. I'm really big into like manifestation and mindset. Um, and something that I've learned, especially as a woman, most authors are women, and I know that there are going to be men in the room, and I appreciate all of you men in the room, but the strategy that we use to help women succeed is so vastly different from how you encourage men to succeed.
Mhm.
And something that I just love is the absolute like energy that I get in speaking to women and being like, listen, you are an absolute boss. You're already doing something that 99% of the population will never do. If you write a book, not just publish, not like publish and like do a cover and do your marketing. If you write a full book, you have accomplished something that 99% of the population never will accomplish in their lifetime. And like that's something to celebrate. And I just love like talking to people and like getting all this energy and like, just being hyped, not just for myself, but for other people because I want everyone to have all the good things that I have. Like,
Yeah.
um, because I know what it's like to be on either side of the coin. I know what it's like to be super broke, and I know what it's like to be like, you know what? I think I'll buy a Prada bag while I'm in Vegas. Like, and the latter comes from this career that I've built and from not just like, selling my courses, but selling my books. Like, I am an author. I sell my books. I make money from my books, and that's how this started. If I hadn't been an author in the first place, none of this would have ever happened.
Okay.
And I'm still writing and selling books. But you know what? I don't feel like I have to put out a book every month to succeed. I did before. I had to put out a book every month or my income would drop. But now I've got like this consistent thing going and I'm not having to work 80-hour weeks on this business. And it takes time to get there, but once you're there, it's like it's amazing how much your brain changes because especially in America, we're always so stressed. We're always like, I have to do the thing, I have to do the thing. Um, we live in one of the most expensive countries in the world. To live in. Obviously, there are places that are more expensive, but the US is pretty darn expensive. And just like the stress of, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Ew. Um, sorry. I'm allergic to birds and I have birds. Um, and my birds live in my office overnight, so I'm just allergic to them. I'm also allergic to cats, dogs, and horses, and guess what other animals I have? Um, but yeah, so I was saying something. I want everybody to succeed. We live in a, oh yeah, and just like the stress of like being able to pay rent and pay for your food. Like everybody's been talking about how much groceries cost nowadays. Like, and just not having to worry about that is so drastic for your nervous system. And it's not something that most Americans have,
Yeah,
is not like, is being able to not think about the price of groceries.
yeah.
Um, and as somebody who is chronically ill and has like autism and another slew of mental illnesses that are caused by being autistic and all of that, like the change in my nervous system has been immense.
Mm,
And I understand that a lot of people do it for the art, and I super respect anyone who does it just for the art, but I do publish for money, and I'm not afraid to say that.
yep.
I write what I love. I love writing romance books. I love writing, smutty, smutty books, but I love earning money and I love being able to pay my bills, and I love that my kid is just a little bit spoiled. We're working on it. Um, I love that my husband is even more spoiled. My husband is a stay-at-home dad because of what I've been able to build. And it's like that's what I'm looking forward to, is just talking to people and being like, being able to say, yeah, like sure I do this, but you can also do this.
Right. Yeah. And they're spoiled that you're bringing them to the beach in September and they'll be able to enjoy themselves. So that's
They're
great.
gonna have so much fun. So
And
actually, we were attending NINC and then a week later, because again, this is because of my TikTok strategy, not book talk related at all. My husband is a huge nerd. He's super into this game called Magic the Gathering. Um, it is a trading card game and you like play with the cards and stuff. For anybody who hasn't heard of it. And because of like me being good at TikTok, I've helped him and like helped um push him and get him on like Magic TikTok. And so he's actually an official influencer for a Magic convention in Atlanta.
how
Um,
fun.
2 weeks after NINC, or a week and a half after NINC ends.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna be in Florida and then we're gonna head up to Atlanta. So we're just doing a whole vacation out of the whole thing.
How fun. Oh,
We're
that's
super
great.
excited.
Oh, that's so great. Well, we're excited to have you with us. Where I know that there's a lot of people who are just chomping at the bit to be able to hear your course and just talk to you. So, but until then, where can people find you and how can they follow you?
So if you want to learn stuff about TikTok before the event, especially if you're like, I want to have good questions to ask,
Mhm.
um, check out my YouTube channel. It's Kate Align, um, Alyne, which is my business name, and we'll have it linked
Okay.
in how you guys send it to everybody. But I've been posting pretty consistently on that YouTube channel for the past couple of months. And if you want to start learning and start implementing, you can just watch my YouTube channel and start making money. I mean, you have to like implement after you watch the videos. You're not gonna like magically absorb money from
Osmosis,
watching the
right?
videos.
Hey, you know.
Unless you're super, super into manifestation and much better at it than I am. Because then, the money just attacks your bank account. But start watching the YouTube videos, start implementing, um, because that's going to be the best way to prep if you want to be prepared before the event. Because I like to talk, if you can't tell. But I'm going to talk for the first bit, and then I'm going to answer questions, and then I'm going to talk if nobody has any questions. But I do love answering questions, and I'm so excited for this because, like I said, I love talking to people. And just so you know, the first question I ask when I walk in the room, when I start talking, the first thing I'm going to say is, raise your hand if you hate TikTok. And like, don't be afraid to raise your hand in that room, because I will also have my hand raised. Because we can't let TikTok win, y'all. Like I don't do this because I love TikTok. I do this because I cannot let it defeat me. I will win, um, whether that is like, just being really good at it or like the heat death of the universe, whichever happens first.
I can tell that this is going to resonate with a lot of our attendees. I think especially your pitch about not needing to show your face on TikTok to take advantage of the algorithm and promote your books, because I know that from talking to my friends, that is a huge barrier for a lot of them, thinking not only do I have to show my face, but first I must prepare my face and
Right.
my hair and my makeup. Speaking of marketing for women, it's like it's just this whole long list if you're going to show your face on something.
Yeah.
So I can tell this is really going to resonate with our audience. I hope that anybody watching this video, well, they're already on YouTube. I hope that they just jump over and check out your channel at Kate Align, Alyne, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, when I was looking you up and I saw your business name and then read what you wrote about being aligned, I was like, ooh, we're gonna have so many things to talk about. I can already tell.
True.
Yeah,
Not
like
just
if you see me around the conference, as long as I'm not like rushing to the bathroom or something, like stop me and talk to me
well,
because
even then you can be like, just come, just follow me. I'll only be
follow
a
me
minute.
as long as you are
We're
cool
BFFs
with being in
now.
the same bathroom as me and you're not gonna peek in the stall. Like
Yeah, we'll draw some boundaries. But we really appreciate your time today, Kate, and it's been great to get to know you. I can't wait to see you at the beach. For anybody who's watching who is not registered yet, you can go to ninc.com. That's NINC.com. If you are a NINC member, you can go ahead and register for the conference, which is September 17th through the 20th in St. Pete Beach, Florida. If you are not yet a NINC member, but you are an author, a published author, you can also apply at ninc.com. That way you will be able to attend. In 2026, we do this conference every year. Every year it gets more amazing, and we definitely want to see new faces there. Last and least important, my name is Mel Jolly. My friend here is Todrick Candle, and we are the directors of the NINC conference. In case you've been thinking, who are these two jokers talking to Kate this whole time? That's who we are. So thank you very much, Kate. We appreciate you, and we will see you soon.
We will. Thanks. Bye.